How to get off-market jobs in construction. What is an off-market construction project? How do you find them? How do you get the best deal? How do you bid on jobs with no competition? You're gonna find out exactly how to do that in this video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Daniel Quindemil. I'm a construction consultant. I work with thousands of contractors nationwide, so I get to see what everybody's doing, the good and the bad, and I bring you the very best in these videos. And today, I'm gonna share with you the super ninja tactic that nobody knows about, which is finding off-market deals. In real estate, the best deals are the ones that are not on the internet being marketed. The best deals are the off-market ones where it's broker to broker or realtor to realtor. Those are the best ones. And I said to myself, why don't we do the same thing in construction? We actually do lead generation for a lot of our clients. And we started experimenting with finding out what projects are out there that aren't published on the Blue Book, that aren't published on ConstructConnect, the ones that are not published on Dodge. And this is how we did it. So the first thing you have to do is you have to use a lead platform to find the projects. A lot of times, general contractors and architects and developers, they're going to use these lead platforms like Dodge, the Blue Book, ConstructConnect, and they're going to publish their jobs. Or these companies have teams of researchers that are actually going to go in there and they're going to put projects out there that they find through permitting, through, contacts that they have in the industry, and they're going to put all the contact information there. But what happens is there's off-market projects that they're currently being worked on that are not on those platforms. So let me give you an example. If you're a subcontractor and you're trying to get access to a commercial, let's say for a GC, a lot of times general contractors are going to have projects that they're negotiating. Some of them are going to be on a cost plus contract. Some of them that they're just a construction manager for. A lot of times they're jobs that are awarded that maybe your trade withdraws their bid or they're having issues negotiating the price or something. And these jobs don't land on the lead platforms because nobody's requesting bids. It's a job that was awarded. It's something that's kind of like behind the scenes. And guess what? If you find out about those jobs, you're actually gonna have the upper hand because there's less competition. Sometimes you can kind of like sneak in the 11th hour and get those jobs. Sometimes there's issues on the job site that you can kind of like come in and be like the hero on the white horse, and those are the types of jobs that really you can come in at premium cost. You can almost save your client because a lot of times you're going to win those jobs because you're coming in to help them. And lastly, you're going to be able to know what's going on behind the scenes without even knowing these guys. Method number 2, use the visiting method. So the visiting method is go visit clients. What a concept. Back in the day, before the lead platforms, before the Blue Book, before the internet, people actually talk to people. Now there's text, there's Facebook, there's Thumbtack, there's all these apps and things like that. Throw all that away. It's all garbage. If you look at the old school guys, the guys that are 60 and 70 years old now, guess why they have $1 million companies? Because they do things old school. And some of them still use binders, which I'm against binders and I'm against paper. I hate paper. But the truth is that the old school tactics, the sales tactics, the visiting, the calling, the following up, the taking them out to dinner, all those things are not done anymore. So if you do those tactics, you're going to be one of those contractors that are actually going to have the upper hand because you're going to be building relationships with these guys. And the only way to do that is to go visit them. So put it in your schedule that at least a half a day in your week, block it out, where that's going to be time to visit clients. So what do you think so far about getting off-market jobs? Are you looking for off-market jobs? What do you think about these tips? Put your comments below, whether they're good or bad, because I want to know what you think. Method number 3, use Google. I'm against technology, but I'm for technology at the same time because as a millennial, I'm like right in the middle where like before me was the old school mindset. And then I'm also I grew up in technology. So I'm like in the middle. So truthfully, millennials are the best generation. But why do we want to use Google? Because Google can actually give you access to tons and tons of contractors. And you're going to combine method number 2 and 3, which is go visit them. Use Google, find out their addresses, go visit them. And you're going to be able to visit them. You're going to be able to call them. You're going to be able to get their email information, and you're going to be able to put them on a master prospecting list. This is another key concept. Put everything on a master list. You have to track all your jobs. You have to use Google to put the addresses in there. You have to use, even if you just use Excel, put them all on a list. Because what's going to happen is when you start prospecting, visiting, you're going to start building this master list where you're going to be able to do follow-up calls. You're going to be able to call clients. You're going to be able to visit them. And the only way you can access those off-market jobs is by constantly following up. I guarantee that your general contractor or or your architect is not just sitting there like, ooh, I just got this perfect job for Daniel or for John, for you. Let me call them. No, they forgot about you. You're just one out of 300 people on their list. So frequently, I always recommend that you set a schedule to do a follow-up every 2 to 3 weeks. What else do you have coming up? What else do you have coming up? How's the bid that we submitted? By the way, what other projects do you have that we can submit a proposal for? And you do that mostly through visits, some through phone calls, and lastly through emails. Emails is too transactional, it's too impersonal. You want to access that 93% of the nonverbal communication that we give off as human beings. You want to access that and use that to your advantage. Tip number 4, research projects that are already awarded. That doesn't make any sense. They already gave that to somebody else. Guess what? The guys that are doing construction, or the architects that are successfully able to get their projects into construction, or the developers that take their job from concept all the way through actual construction and the financing, guess what? Those are the guys you want to work with, because those are the guys that have other projects coming up. They're the best closers, they're the best salespeople, they're the best people at making the deals. So you want to find out who those guys are. So the lead platforms are the best method. Let me tell you something. Get yourself a lead platform. That was the first tip I talked about, and it's almost like it literally is the number one tip. Get a lead platform, find out who these people are, go visit them, go call them, use Google, get their addresses, go visit them, get to know them, invest in them. And there's filters where you can actually put which jobs are post-award, post-bid, bid results, abandoned jobs, jobs that are awarded. A lot of people ignore those because they just want to bid current jobs. But guess what? Remember the off-market jobs that we were just talking about? I guarantee that all those guys have 3, 4, 10 off-market jobs that are not ever going to be published. So use that to your advantage. If you see a sign, a construction sign, take a picture with your phone so you can call them later. Those are the guys you want to really build relationships because they're the ones building. Pause real quick. If you're getting value out of these tips and suggestions, go ahead and click subscribe right below and get notified every time we release a video just like this. Method number 5, get in with your suppliers so they can give you access to what jobs the people are actually requesting proposals from. A lot of times you're going to get wind of a job because your supplier might call you and say, hey, Daniel, there's a job coming up that a lot of people are sending to give them pricing for. Why don't you go find out about them? Here's the architect, here's the GC, here's the developer, and you can start getting wind. A quick way to do that is give those guys an incentive. Give them a finder's fee. Give them some sort of bonus, something. Take them out to dinner. I don't know. Whatever you have to do to get them to refer you, find out about what's coming up through them. Tip number 6, go to your local building department and get a list of all the jobs that are permitted or that are under plan review. Guess what? Everything that happens in the government is public record. So you can go drive to your building department and there's always some sort of form or some sort of way to request it. Some of them now do it digitally online. Sometimes you just have to send an email. But basically you can request a list of all the active permits because guess what? These are jobs that are either in construction that they may need your bid. And remember what I said earlier, the guys that are successful into taking jobs into construction, those are the ones you want to build relationships with because they probably are doing more stuff. Number 2, you're going to also be able to find out about these off-market deals that are under the plan review because they haven't been bid out. They're still in the planning stages. So you want to make sure that you get access to those jobs. And tip number 7, do not discount the jobs that are in the conceptual and in the planning stages. A lot of times people, they only want to bid the jobs that are like ready to go. And oftentimes the very best jobs to get involved in are the ones that are in the 50% stage or the ones that are in the like conceptual stages, because then you can actually build your value by being an asset to them where you can give them advice, suggestions, ideas for value engineering. As an estimating firm, I often see projects, they go from start to finish, all the drawings, the engineering, the structure, everything all the way through the end where they get a permit. And when they actually start getting those final bids and estimates, they're like, oh my gosh, we're completely over budget. What are we going to do? And all that could be avoided if they had someone like you that can step in the door, knock on their door and say, hey, I can give you budgetary pricing through the progress of your project. So this is actually a strategy that I call the budget method. So general contractors, if you go and visit architects, those guys, they don't know pricing. They're clueless. You might not know what pricing is either, but if they can give you a schematic or a drawing, then you can get somebody like us that can actually prepare the cost for you. So it's not even something that you need to do yourself. And number two, you're going to be able to give them advice and ideas and counsel on how to make their project more budget friendly. And number three, if you do those things, guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, man, you know, like this guy has been helping us out. Like, I got to give him the best shot of winning this thing. And then you're going to have the upper hand because you're in the door. If they even bid it out, you're already in the door before they're even bidding it. And the same thing applies for subcontractors. If you come in and you help the GC win the job, they're going to remember that. Trust me. Now, if you're a serious contractor and you want to grow your business, you want to grow your construction business, whether you're a sub or a GC, and you want to take your business to the next level, I have a way for you to do that. I prepared a training for you where you can learn exactly step by step how to grow your construction business. And all you have to do is click the link below so you can get access to it. And if you want to work with us and you want to see how we can help you with estimating, with leads, with growing your business, with consulting, with strategies, also there's going to be a link where you can click to learn more and you can see a short video about our services and where you can sign up to get more information. All right, that's it. Go out and crush it. Go do it. These 7 tips are going to completely transform your business, and I look forward to helping you grow your construction business.